All right, today we're diving into a really big idea, something called the synergy engine. Think of it as a potential new operating system for, well, for all of us. It's an architecture designed to tackle our gnarliest global problems by fundamentally changing how we work together. So, let's get into it.
So let's start with a puzzle that I think we all feel. Humanity has this incredible, almost unbelievable collective power, right? We have the tech, the resources, the brain power to fix huge issues like climate change or deep social divides. And yet, why does it feel like we're so often stuck? What's really holding us back from solving our biggest problems?
Well, the thinking behind the synergy engine is that we've hit what you could call a coordination threshold. It's this idea that our collective power, our ability to change the planet, has just rocketed forward, but our ability to coordinate, to actually work together effectively, has been left in the dust. We're just creating problems way faster than we can organize ourselves to solve them.
And the result of that mismatch? It's like we've become this uncoordinated giant. We have all this power, all this strength, but we're fragmented. Our different groups, our institutions, they're often working in silos, or worse, pulling in opposite directions. It's like having the muscles of a giant but no nervous system to tell the arms and legs what to do. We just end up stumbling around, unable to act coherently.
Okay, so if the big problem is that we're an uncoordinated giant, what's the solution? Well, the vision is just as big as the problem. It's about building a planetary nervous system, a way for humanity to actually sense what's happening, make sense of it all, and then act together on a global scale. A true collective consciousness, if you will. And the framework being proposed for this is something called Phoenix. You can think of it as the foundational layer, the hardware, maybe, for this planetary nervous system. Its whole purpose is to connect all our separate parts into a single, coherent whole, one that can actually make smarter, more ethical decisions together.
So let's drill down into the architecture itself. The Phoenix framework is the container, but the real magic, the core of it all, is something called the synergy engine. This is the social and cognitive architecture. It's the software, so to speak, that would make this whole planetary nervous system actually work. And here's the crucial definition. The synergy engine isn't just a tool or a piece of software. It's described as a developmental coordination architecture. And that word, developmental, is key. The goal isn't just to connect us, it's to help us grow our collective ability to collaborate by brilliantly integrating human intelligence with artificial intelligence.
So, how would it actually do that? Well, the engine is designed to handle a few critical jobs. First, it helps us all make sense of complex systems together, getting everyone on the same page. Then, it helps us align our goals and values and coordinate who's doing what. It also builds a verifiable trust infrastructure, which is huge. And all the while, it's designed to learn and evolve from every interaction. It's a living system.
And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. It's grounded in a whole suite of real integrated technologies. We're talking about things like AI-assisted analysis tools, using blockchain for radical transparency, and even creating digital twins, simulations of our world, so we can test the impact of big decisions before we actually make them. Pretty wild stuff.
I love this quote because it really captures the vision. Trust forms the nervous system. Contribution graphs form connective tissue. It's thinking about collaboration not as a machine, but as a living organism. Trust is the signaling system that lets information flow instantly and cohesively. And the shared, transparent record of who did what, that's the connective tissue holding the whole body together.
And this is super important. This is not about AI replacing humans. It's about harmonization, creating a true symbiosis. We bring the things humans are uniquely good at: ethical judgment, deep contextual understanding, creating meaning. AI brings its strengths: seeing patterns in massive amounts of data, running complex simulations, detecting biases we might miss. The idea is that each side makes the other exponentially more powerful.
Okay, so you take this developmental architecture, you add this human-AI harmony, and what do you get? What's the result? Well, the goal is to unlock something incredible, swarm intelligence, but scaled up for all of humanity. So, what exactly is swarm intelligence? You've probably seen it in nature. It's this amazing form of distributed intelligence that emerges from the bottom up. There's no central leader, no CEO bird telling everyone what to do. Instead, you get this incredibly smart, coherent group behavior just from individuals following a few simple rules and reacting to their neighbors. It's coordination without a coordinator.
Yeah, just think about a flock of birds turning in perfect unison, or a school of fish evading a predator. There's no single leader shouting orders. Each bird is just paying attention to the birds right next to it. But out of those simple, local interactions, this complex, adaptive, and beautiful group intelligence emerges. The whole point of the synergy engine is to create the right conditions for that same phenomenon to happen with our collective ideas and actions.
Now, this isn't something that just happens overnight. The architecture is designed to guide groups along a developmental path. You start with just achieving coherence, finally getting everyone to see the same picture and reducing all that fragmentation. Then, as trust and psychological safety build, you move into healthy collaboration. But the ultimate goal is synergistic collaboration, that magical state where the collective intelligence of the group becomes way, way more than just the sum of its individual members.
All right, let's zoom out for the final takeaway here. What is the ultimate point of all this? What's the grand vision? It's about building the foundational plumbing, if you will, for a completely different kind of human future.
Because you see, the synergy engine isn't just an innovation platform or a new productivity app. It's framed as the developmental infrastructure for a regenerative civilization. That's a civilization that doesn't just extract and consume, but one that actively restores and replenishes our social and ecological systems. It's a fundamental shift in how we exist on this planet.
And the way it's described is as a kind of collective maturation. It frames our current global state as a sort of planetary adolescence. We're powerful and full of potential, but also often reckless, fragmented, and short-sighted. This architecture is seen as a tool to help us make that crucial leap into a more responsible, wise, regenerative adulthood.
And that brings us back to where we started, but with a whole new lens. What if our greatest challenge isn't a lack of solutions? What if it's just a lack of connection? Maybe the answers to our biggest problems are already out there, distributed across all of us. And maybe what we really need isn't one more silver bullet solution, but a new way to weave all our individual threads of knowledge into a coherent, intelligent, and powerful collective tapestry.